3:17 a.m. on Thursday. Currently driving through the night to arrive at the Glade Top Mountain Scenic Byway or something like that. I first heard or encountered that road when I went to Bull Shoals to hang out with Dan and Nikki. Ooh, going over a really old bridge on Highway 7. So let's backtrack a little bit because I want to make sure I mention a couple things. I forgot to mention when I was hanging out with Artie that someone on the side of whatever street we were on used some kind of horn or device that made a train sound. And I was looking around like, what the fuck was that? I don't see a train crossing anywhere. And he's like, what? I thought those were everywhere. No, man. Never fucking heard of one of those in my life, but really freaked me out. And then on the way back, I guess a bunch of cheerleaders wearing very interesting cowboy outfits that were like red, white, and blue were twirling lassos. Multiple cheerleaders were twirling lassos. Just really, really interesting peek into what life is like in Texas, I guess. So, okay, I left San Antonio pretty early in the morning. I think I've already updated since I talked on there. Okay, so let's see. What have I left out? Oh, okay, so since the last update, stuck in traffic in Dallas again. That fucking city, man. I don't understand. Well, no, I do understand because it's a metropolis, but it's still really annoying. Added an hour to my 8.5 hour trip, so it ended up being like 9.5 hours to Little Rock. About 4:45 before I finally got in the hotel and got showered and stuff. Pretty brutal, but it's fine. I actually kind of needed a day to just like process and sit around. And it worked out. Coincidentally, I didn't even plan for this, but AEW was on Wednesday night, so I just watched that, and then pretty much as soon as that was over, went to bed around 9:15, and only got about 2.5 hours of sleep. And of course, once my brain starts going and thinking about the trip, I'm wired, and decided, fuck it, hitting the road. So, directions tried to take me to the ferry across Bull Shoals Lake. It's not going. Google, what the fuck, man? I imagine so many people make that mistake just because it's the shortest distance. But no, man, you gotta be aware and plan accordingly. I did notice whenever I was pre-planning the trip that it was going to do that. So, good thing I'm on top of my shit this evening. And ended up that in order to get to the Glade Mountain Trail or whatever it's called, that it's taking me on a one of the oldest byways to go through Arkansas, to go through the Ozark National Forest part of Arkansas. I stopped at a roadside rest stop that had some information that I took photos of. I'm going to read that later, or try to. And if I can't, I'll just look up information about Highway 7. But originally a horse and buggy trail to get to all of these little towns. I just went through, I think it's called Jasper, maybe. It's at the very bottom of, like, in a valley. Really, really cool. Along this road are lots of campgrounds and getaways and that sort of thing. And this is just a really fun road, even through in the dark. I do have to be on high alert for deer because I've already seen a whole bunch, but I knew that was coming. Yeah, lots of like just hairpin turns, and you got to slow down to 20 miles an hour to make the turn, kind of deal. Really, really old houses back here that you could see even just from the road, and foundations of houses that have long since been destroyed by the elements, and whatever residents lived in them don't anymore, or whatever. So about an hour and a half to the beginning of the Glade Top Trail that I hopped on back in the day, about a year and a half ago, which is crazy that it's already been that long, but I guess a year of COVID goes by in no time. That's about it for this update. Might do one more to wrap up everything, but I don't know yet. Really, really satisfying drive at night, though. I was afraid that I was going to be missing a lot, and I probably am, as far as like they're next to the road. There's all these stops where you can look and see scenic views. However, I was just in Big Bend, and I kind of doubt that the forest views are going to even slightly compare, but I don't know until I see them. So maybe one day I'll come back through during the day, but it will have to depend on if I get any sleep or not, which is always the thing that determines when I'm going to be on my way places on these trips, man. And